Ever feel like you're suddenly living in a sci-fi movie? I mean, one minute we're using cash and the next we're talking about digital currencies reshaping global finance. It's a lot to wrap your head around.
And from the looks of it, you're diving right into the thick of it.
Good.
Especially all this stuff about Ripple's XRP and what it could mean for the BRICS nations. That's a deep dive if I've ever seen one.
Definitely keeps things interesting. We've got a mountain of research from KryptoKraken to dig through, so to make sure everyone's on the same page, could you give us a quick overview of XRP? It's a digital currency, but what makes it stand out from the crowd?
In a nutshell, XRP is known for being incredibly fast and inexpensive, especially when we're talking about transferring money across borders. And this isn't just some techie thing. It has the potential to completely change the game for global finance.
So it's like upgrading from dial-up to high-speed internet for the global economy.
Exactly. Think about it. Right now, if a company in Brazil wants to pay a supplier in, say, India, it can take days for the transaction to go through, not to mention the hefty fees involved. But with XRP, that same transaction could be done in seconds with minimal costs. We're talking about transforming the way businesses operate, especially in emerging markets.
Okay, so we're talking about giving these economies a serious boost. But you mentioned BRICS wanting to reshape global finance. What does that really mean?
You've hit on a crucial point. For decades, the global financial system has been pretty much under the influence of Western institutions, with the U.S. dollar at the top of the heap. But the BRICS nations, they're pushing for a different world, one where they have more, or say, more power. You could say they want a multipolar system.
So how does XRP fit into all of this?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? One of BRICS' main goals is achieving greater financial sovereignty. And before we get too far, let's be clear what that means. It's about these nations taking more control over their own financial futures, less reliance on the U.S. dollar and Western-dominated systems, like SWIFT.
So it's like building their own financial internet, their own set of rules and connections. And XRP, with its speed and low cost, could be what holds it all together.
Now you're getting it. But let's zoom in a bit. Within this BRICS coalition, you've got countries at different stages of development. Some are economic powerhouses, while others are still finding their footing. This is where things get interesting when we look at XRP's potential impact on individual nations.
Right. A rising tide doesn't always lift all boats. So how might this tech affect the economies within BRICS that are still developing? You've been looking into this too, haven't you?
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. We've got to think about the good and the bad. Here's the thing. For developing nations, access to traditional banking is often limited. High fees, bureaucratic hurdles, all of it. It's a major roadblock for businesses trying to grow and for people trying to improve their lives.
So you're saying XRP could be a way to get around all that, to create opportunities for people who've been left out of the traditional system.
That's the potential we're talking about. Imagine a small business owner, let's say in South Africa. They want to sell their products online to customers in India. Right now, that probably means a confusing mess of international transfers, exchanging currencies, all sorts of headaches. It's expensive, it takes time, and you can really hold a business back.
But with XRP...
Exactly. Suddenly, those transactions are instant and affordable. It's like opening up a whole new world of possibilities for these businesses, markets they could never have reached before.
Okay, I see the potential here. But let's be realistic for a second. Emerging markets, they can be pretty unpredictable. What if the value of XRP goes up and down like a roller coaster? Isn't that a huge risk for businesses and regular people?
You're right to bring that up. Volatility is definitely something to consider with cryptocurrencies. For businesses, especially those operating on tight budgets, those price swings can be scary. And for individuals, it could mean losing their savings or struggling to plan for the future.
So it's not a magic solution. There are downsides, too. And what about the tech side of things? Do these developing countries even have the infrastructure to handle something like XRP?
That's another piece of the puzzle. While XRP itself is designed for efficiency, it still needs a solid digital infrastructure to run on. If a country's internet access is unreliable or their digital payment systems are shaky, it'll limit what they can do with XRP.
Like having a sports car but no roads to drive it on.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
This is where investment is crucial. For emerging markets to really benefit from XRP, they need to invest in the technology itself, but also in the digital foundation. That means building reliable internet access and robust digital payment systems.
So it's a two-pronged approach. Embrace the new tech, but also make sure the basics are covered.
Exactly. And speaking of new tech, while we're talking about XRP, we should definitely touch on another big player in the financial world these days, central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs for short. You've been looking into these as well, right?
Oh, yeah. They're everywhere in the news. It seems like every central bank is rushing to create their own digital currency. But I'll be honest, I'm still trying to figure out how they fit in with everything else. Are they going to help or hurt cryptocurrencies like XRP? Are they the future or will they crush the competition? Help me connect the dots here.
It's a complicated relationship, that's for sure. And the answer, like most things in finance, isn't a simple yes or no. There's potential for both competition and collaboration.
So it's not a case of one winning out over the other. There's room for both CBDCs and cryptocurrencies like XRP in this new financial world.
Exactly. Think of it like this. CBDCs are basically the digital versions of the money we use now, like a digital dollar or a digital euro, backed by governments. They offer stability control, things that central banks really like. But here's the thing. CBDCs might not be the best tool for every situation, especially for payments between countries or when you're dealing with different currencies.
So that's where XRP comes in.
Now you're seeing it. XRP with its speed, low costs, and ability to work between currencies. It could actually make CBDCs even better, bridging the gaps between them, making transactions smoother and faster across borders.
So instead of fighting each other, they could actually work together to create a more efficient global financial system. That's kind of unexpected.
It is interesting, isn't it? And this is where the BRICS connection comes back into play. Remember, their goal is greater financial independence. Imagine if they create their own CBDCs and then use XRP as a common platform to connect them all.
Wow, now we're talking about a whole new level. They'd be building a system outside the traditional one, a financial internet with XRP as a high-speed connection. This is big.
It's definitely something to think about. This is what your research into XRP and the BRICS nations highlights. The potential for a massive shift in global finance. It makes you question everything. The future of money, global power dynamics, how technology is changing the world.
This deep dive has given us a lot to think about. We've talked about the potential benefits for businesses and people, especially in developing countries. But we've also looked at the challenges, like volatility and the need for strong infrastructure. And we've even touched on a future where XRP could be a major player in reshaping the entire financial system.
As you continue to explore this topic, here's something to consider. What if the adoption of XRP, whether by BRICS or other nations, really does shift the balance of power globally? What kind of world would we be looking at then? One thing's for sure, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Absolutely. This has been an incredible deep dive. We'll be keeping a close eye on how this all plays out. Until next time, keep those thinking caps on and stay curious.